Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. We got Stitches here early. Say hi, Stitches. Yeah, baby. I know so many people love to see her, so I was able to snag her while I could. I'm back to sitting on the floor again. Just kind of easier with some space, being able to have everything sitting around, so I figured I'd sit down over here. But because of that, it also means that I'm not sitting on my couch where Stitches can run across the back of my couch. So if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for press and play. Check me out. I hope you like what you see. Maybe stick around. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for returning each week and commenting, showing the love and likes and all that good stuff. So today is Saturday, July 2nd, and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I can't believe that June has completely flown by. Yeah, June. I had to stop and think, did I just say that right? Yes, June just completely flew by. My birthday is in 2 weeks from yesterday, so I have 13 days left of my 30s, so kind of hard to believe. It's funny, I don't know, a week or two ago, I had a memory show up on Facebook of, having so many days left of my 20s, and so of course I had to share it. Hard to believe that this is now this many days remaining of my 30s, so I'm not fretting about it. It's, just another number, I guess, so it's just kind of hard to believe that that's where I'm at now, I guess, so. Alrighty, so we've got some good stuff to show this week, I believe. I got, in my opinion, I should say, I've got 2 new starts. They were pretty much back-to-back starts. My cat is going crazy now, of course. Sorry you can't see her running around. I know a lot of, I've had some great comments of, hi Stitches, bye Stitches, because she likes to just completely run through. So she's a crazy girl and I love her to pieces. So, yeah, so it's been a good couple of weeks. Surprise on my last video. I know it was such a random Tuesday. I try to be on a schedule with filming these, but that's just not always the case. I've had some busy weekends lately, and so, just kind of hasn't really happened that way. And so when I got that framing picked up, I figured, you know what? I'm on my lunch break. I don't have anything else going on. Let's go ahead and film a Flosstube. So that was fun. Great way to kill some lunch hour, right? As you can see, I work from home. That's my desk, for those that may not know. And so with me working from home, and I get a 1-hour lunch, so it's really, sometimes I'll sit and stitch. Sometimes I'll read. Often I tend to nap. It's a great thing of having my bedroom on the other side of that wall, right? But yeah, so let's go ahead and dive into what we got this week, shall we? So we all know in the last, oh gosh, I don't remember now what date it was. Was it a week ago now? Last Friday, so not yesterday, but the week before, a pretty big milestone case had been reversed. I'm not gonna get too deep into it. It's heartbreaking. While I may not believe that I am in a position where I would need to have an abortion, there's reasons that, people out there may need one. And to have that allowance taken away from us, it's disheartening. And I don't understand this need to kind of control things. And for the government that's involved, why do they care what women do to take care of themselves? People. So this showed up on Instagram, and it was just one of those, an immediate, I need to stitch this. And so I bought it, and I did. It is from Rebel Stitcher. I believe it's titled Injustice. So the statement is, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. 1973 and 2022. So it's a smaller piece. It is fitting on a colored cotton grab bag. It is charted in one piece or one color. You can choose the color. I went through my overdyed flosses and picked out what called to me. And so I do happen to be stitching it in red, but it was because the color that called to me. Yeah. So if you have purchased this, you may have already gotten the email of an update. I happened to be stitching on it the other night, and the border is, you know, supposed to be pretty, what's the word, even, you know, it's each little berry tends to be the same. And so I got down here, and it does get off, you know, a little different of a vine there for a minute. I stitched it wrong following the chart. I backtracked that, got back through it again, and as I just got passed through it, email comes through, chart correction. So it had been corrected to make it so that it was symmetrical, completely even, you know, because you see the, you know, little vine going around. Well, you get down here, you can see kind of it stands out right there that it's slightly different. And then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see. So I'm looking, like, yeah, it's symmetrical across the, you know, across both sides. So actually I can see now it really isn't, but it was looking to me at a glance, yep, that's symmetrical, you know, even across both directions, even though it's slightly different. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch it as charted. You know, it's a border, I don't wanna get all the way around because I'm fixing it, thinking it needed to be, and then suddenly, you know, it not meet up. I got the new pattern, figured out exactly why, you know, it was right where I was at, so luckily I was able to remove a few more stitches and get it charted back in. I have not made it all the way back around yet. After that evening of correcting it, oh yeah, I backtracked to where I needed to be to continue on, and then I was done for the evening. So I put it down and haven't got it back up. But that's where we're at, so we're almost halfway around. This is on a color and cotton grab bag. I, you know, measured it out, and it's actually looking like it is a 20 count. No clue what the color is, but it's a beautiful gray. I love it. I am using one strand. Thinking, you know, the 20 count, 2 strands might be getting a little thick. But I also went with color and cotton, and it's in Dracula, and it's this red, it's the dark to the light and back again that just, I had to go with it. So that's why I said it called to me. So I was going through the box and, you know, trying to figure out what color I wanted to go, and it just kept calling to me. So I kept looking and like, nope, this one keeps going back to me. So it calling back out to me. I like how you can tell there's some lighter, it gets into some darker. So I am planning all of the words and everything to be all same color. I'm assuming I should have plenty of floss, especially since I'm using one strand. But yeah, that is my resistance. Alrighty. And my next new start was because I got my material pack in for the Year in the Woods sale. Not sale, but a year in the woods. Look at these. Aren't they pretty? We'll get them shown here. But what I'm talking about is Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods, and it's the eagle. And if you know me, you know bald eagles are my thing. If you've been here before, you would have seen my beloved eagles. It's a heaven and earth design. It's over here on the wall. It would be too much movement of the camera to try to get the camera over there, but if you go to my Instagram, StitchingBee82, you'll be able to see my eagles. May have to scroll back a little while, but it's a giant piece. It was my first Heaven and Earth Designs start and a finish, which took me like 5 years to start and finish, but I love it, and the framing is beautiful and gorgeous. So I love bald eagles. I even have a tattoo of a bald eagle. I even saw one a couple weeks ago, last week I think it was. There's a road in town that has a bunch of trees and whatnot, and there's this eagle couple that are known to be in that area, And so there's a big nest in one of the trees. A year ago, so it was like April of last year, so 2021, there was a horrible windstorm and that nest fell to the ground. Tree broke and that nest fell to the ground. If I remember right, hearing that there were 2 eggs in it. One didn't, crack and break in the fall. One did crack. I think I heard that the DNR took the one that had cracked. Never heard anything more. Honestly, I never heard of what happened to those eggs, but the eagles rebuilt. They picked another tree right in that same area. So I love going through there and seeing if I can spy the eagles. And just last week, there was one in flight, and these birds are just majestic, and their wingspan, they can have 5-foot wingspans. They're not giant birds, but those wings can just definitely spread right out. And so, I'm trying to watch the car in front of me, making sure that I'm not, about to slam into somebody who had to hit their brakes or whatever. But yet I'm doing one of these numbers while driving, trying to keep my eyes on the road, but also wanting to see the majestic bird in flights. So I love my bald eagles. They're stunning. So when I saw this was released, absolutely had to have it. Got the threads, using called for. And so the day that these got delivered, which it would have been last Saturday, so a week ago today, they were delivered. I got home at like 7 o'clock at night from being gone all day, and I had to start it. So why not? So part of this is haul and a new start. So here we are, and those just fell over. Of course, I had to find a eagle needle minder. I don't have all of the called for DMC, so that's why there's a big block right there. It calls for one of the DMC, it's 03, so one of those early DMC numbers. I don't have that full set yet, and so of course I don't have it in hand. But I love it. So the material is Bestitch Me in, I have the card here because I took it off, Spirit of the Forest. That's gonna focus or not. So called for colors, I think they were stitched on, Picture This Plus. Picture This Plus is very hard to get a hold of, and so Bestitch Me decided to put out a bundle of fabrics, kind of, similar shades that, match the, what's called for the different, because it's an entire series, there's going to be 12, and Cottage Garden Samplings have on their website a way that you can, if you want to stitch all on one piece, that would be massive. But then it also suggests stitching, there's going to be 3 released for each season, so 4 seasons. And I decided I want to go that direction. So when I found that this bundle is out, I treated myself. It was a decent price, but it was a little pricey. But it was something I decided to treat myself for. They're not exactly the called for. Like there was, I think the winter one could have been a little more brown. It's a little on the grayer side. This blue one could have been a little more blue. But I'm not mad about it. I think they're gonna be great fits. Of course, I guess things could always change once I get flosses for stitch, pieces or whatever. But I think they're great. And, I'm not one to use called for fabrics anyways. While I'm building my fabric stash, it's like Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month, and it's color and cotton grab bags, and, different things of that nature. So I'm not one to always use called for colors anyways. And then even when I decide to, find a fabric that's going to work for a piece, I don't necessarily go for called for shades. I don't find something that's a, Bestitch Me's version of something else. I just, pull flosses and say, oh, I like this fabric, I'm gonna use this. So they're gonna work. I think they're gonna work really well. I especially like this green one. It's called Meadows, plural. That one's just really pretty. I like how it's got some darker green modeling around, but ooh, that's more true to color right there. So I went ahead and like wrote my own label, or on the labels, which season I'm putting things for. So I've noted on there that one I'm going to use for the spring. And this one is for autumn. This is Dusty Cottage. This one was the one that, comparing the picture of this plus, was a little more on the brown side. This is, yeah, I guess that's kind of the true to color there. This one's really cool because like part of it has, you know, quite a bit of modeling here. So I'll probably figure out which pieces go on here and figure out which one will look better in the more modeled area. And then we've got Gray Magic. And this one is for the winter. I don't know if that's even focusing. I feel like I've got a lot of colors in my stash already, this family of colors. It is more blue than what is really showing. It could be more blue compared to the picture of this plus that was used for this portion, but like I said, I'm mad about it. So these are definitely big enough for all three pieces. So this one will have the eagle. I've put the eagle right in the middle. And then I honestly don't even remember what else. So I think the owl, right? Because the owl was the most recent one. I don't remember. I don't have the information right in front of me and I'm not going to pull it up, but eagle's going to work well on there. There's definitely more than enough space for these. This particular piece was not necessarily cut very evenly. I'm not going to take it off the Q-snap now, but when, you know, I put corner to corner, like, you know, trying to figure out spacing and stuff, like there's one edge that is definitely cut at more of an angle, but because of this particular piece, the space that I need for it, I definitely have, I don't remember the measurements now, but because this piece is 18 by 29, I want to say I needed like 15 by 24 maybe. I don't remember exactly what the measurements were, but because I wasn't gonna need, like the area that had been cut off a little bit at an angle, I have more fabric than necessary for even having like a 3-inch margin. I'm not worried about having it cut at an angle because it's, you know, the piece is plenty big enough as it is. So, but that's my bald eagle. So I'm excited to finally have this series started. I have fallen in love with it right from the fox. And so I'm excited to now have it on the go. Alrighty, another iPad piece here. So this week I picked up another full coverage piece that was calling to me and really got quite a bit of work on it. So this is Dragonfly Clock. Excuse me. Artwork is by Marine Loop, I think it is, and charted by Pain Free Crafts. And I'm up here in this corner, and see this leaf right there? I'm finally working on it. It's looking so cool. Make sure I hold it up properly, so I had to stop and think for a minute where I was at. But this is looking so good, and I know it's actually looking kind of messy at the moment because there's a lot of gaps in there. I've always been, like, when I work on full coverage pieces, I'm always one to, like, pick a symbol and stitch as far as I can with it. In terms of, I don't stay in 10 by 10 blocks. I, you know, before like when I use paper patterns, I usually just worked across the page, not necessarily extreme cross country where you do the entire page, like that symbol on the entire page, but if I don't have to do a whole lot of counting away, then I'm going to, you know, keep working on that particular symbol. Well, now that I'm using Pattern Keeper, I'm not even paying attention to the page break mark anymore. And especially with this piece, it was so easy to just pick a symbol and work however, which direction I can. And so the bulk of this area, like this is page 1, and then I know I've gone into page 2. Whatever is below page 1, I know I'm well into that. And then whatever page is beside that, I'm definitely across multiple pages here. And it's working out really well. So because of that confetti stitching, Pattern Keeper is a lifesaver, that it can highlight my symbols for me and I don't have to worry about, am I gonna miss something? So there's lots of holes yet to fill in there, but it's because I've really just been working on one symbol and, you know, filling in as I can. So it's coming together well. It's just looking a little scattered at the moment. Which is fine. I actually found the other day that I'm missing a skein of floss. Can't find it in a single box elsewhere. So I've got a list of DMC shades. I'm actually planning on going to Michael's here in a little while, and so I've got a list of DMC, so I'll get it then. So I do hope to get back to this again sometime soon. Especially once I get that other missing color, because there's a lot right there that I can really fill in and kind of start to settle in on some of that confetti a little bit. So that is my Dragonfly Clock. It has felt so good to get into those dark colors and away from that background with all of those shades of beige. So there's DMC black. I mean, I'm using all DMC, but, you know, 310. There's really dark shades of green in there, and then all, you know, 50 shades of green. But it's looking so cool to be able to get that leaf starting to get in there and, you know, away from some of that beige. I'm really excited to get down to the dragonfly, but of course that's going to be a while yet. But it's going to be really cool to be able to get into that the flower. I don't know where I'm working at as far as I guess maybe I'll be able to start getting into some of the flower right down in here. But it's just been exciting to be able to get some other shades of, oh, I guess that's not the right one, is it? It'd be right over here. Left, right, hard to do on camera. But I love this piece and I'm so excited to get some more progress on that. And because I'm using 11-inch Q-snap, it's working really well of being able to just work across the whole thing. The only downfall to the tablet that I got for my Pattern Keeper is it's not as big as a screen as this. I just bought a small Samsung tablet, and if I had been thinking better or wanting to spend more money, I might have seen about getting a bigger tablet. But because this is an iPad and Pattern Keeper isn't compatible with it, I like the size of this screen better. And so, but I'm making the Pattern Keeper work in terms of, you know, the area that I'm working in. So my next piece, this has been calling to me for ages and I just have not been picking it up. I've gone for other pieces and finally I answered the call to it and really enjoyed working on it, and I don't want to let it sit as long as I did before I work on it again. I gotta sneeze. Halloween Quaker by Leela Studio. This piece, it's so fun. I finally got this entire row of, you know, the little haunted village done. So good. I had, that was my main focus piece. or piece or area, I did start working on the Happy Halloween a little bit. Where I was finished or working at it on my Q-snap, it was time to move the Q-snap, so I went ahead and took it off. So I'm not sure where I'll end up moving to next, but let's go ahead and actually see it. So it's gonna be a pretty decent size piece, but now that I have it off the Q-snap, here's what I have done so far. Oh, that hurt. Needle minder there. But I have completely stitched from top to bottom. That bottom corner page, I forget now what page number it is, I'm counting it as a page finish, with the exception of the spider web that's going to be going on here. But it's long stitches, and I didn't want to have those get messed up because of being in the Q-snap and such. So that'll be one of the last things that I work on when, yeah, one of the last things when I'm finishing up the piece. So here's the village of where I got it. So I had started, when I picked it up, I had the tree started into this first house. So basically I did the moon all the way over. It was a lot of work, but I also focused on this for multiple days. So because it's been a little over 2 weeks now, I guess, since I did my last Flosstube, I don't feel like I have a ton of whips to share, but it's because I really, once I picked up a piece, I actually focused on it for multiple days in a row, not just like a one night and okay, I'm moving on. So there's my little Halloween village. Like I said, I also started to started to say typed in, but I've started stitching in Happy Halloween. Where my Q-snap was at, I wasn't really able to continue, so I just like I said, I just stopped with that. So we've got Hap Hall. Oh, I did do this little bat right here. He's got little yellow eyes. It's so funny that Halloween doesn't really, like, I'm not one to dress up. I don't have littles to take trick-or-treating, but boy, do I love the Halloween stitching. So that is my Halloween Quaker, Leela's Studio. Alrighty. So I shared a couple of videos ago that I was going to be frogging, and I did, and I am much, much, much happier. So this is, we'll show the piece, temperature bookshelf. I always forget, temperature bookshelf or temperature bookcase. Christie's Needlework Corner, I think it is, on Etsy. So if you haven't seen these before, it's a temperature piece. So the entire bookcase represents the year. Each shelf represents a month. Each book represents a day. So like I said, I am so much happier. We're gonna show my new color schemes first. So this is a from Bags Plus. So you gotta love my Halloween cat because I got one. So this has been a great way to be able to have all of my colors. I do have them in temperature order. So here's my coldest down, coming down up like this. So this is going to be my hottest color, which is 814. Yes, bookshelf. And then I was using this color the first time around to separate, like I've got some books here that were the same color, same temp back to back. So I'll use that for back stitching around it. I am so much happier with this rainbow of colors though. And so really appreciate the person that shared their color key. And so I've got January re-stitched in. I did get all of the, what I had stitched frogged out. It really wasn't that bad. If it had been like a confetti piece, you know, full coverage, it really would have been a pain to have to do all of that frogging. But honestly, this wasn't that horrible to get done. I would work on, you know, like in the evenings when I was done stitching, but of course not ready for bed yet, I would sit and work on getting some more removed. So it was really smooth going. So here's where we're at. And oh my gosh. Those, see, I like the pinks, but I like the fact that I've got other colors in there that are not pink. Like the darker blues, those were like 30-degree range. So I think the coldest temp I have was, well, I've got my color key right here. So below 10 is going to be ecru. So in January, we didn't have any temps that were colder than 10 degrees. And then we did get into the 40s a couple of times. So I know I used like up to the 798. So this was like the 40 to 44. So it's 4-degree temp ranges. So like below 10, 10 to 4, 10 to 14, 15 to whatever, you know, and on and on. And so much better that I do have some pinks in here, but I don't have like eight shades of pink to, you know, fill in. So not an all pink bookshelf anymore, and I'm so much happier with it, and I love it. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus in Regency, and I just realized I did not say Halloween Quaker 16 count Picture This Plus in the color J, J-A-Y. The full coverage piece, 16 count white Ada, 2 strands full cross. Yeah, I forgot to say any of the fabrics apparently. So yep, that is my temperature bookcase bookshelf. I did keep the snowflake. I thought that was really pretty, and it's done in DMC Etoile, not Etoile, Diamant. And then the whole reason why I didn't want to just scrap the entire piece, besides the work that it takes for the actual bookshelf itself, was my little stitches. I couldn't scrap that. So we started over. We're still just in January, so I do still have one more doodad to put here. I do want to use that other, it's another DMC 535 to kind of separate some of these books that are the same temps, you know, back to back. But then we'll move on to February. So I'm in no, like, especially now that I'm behind, you know, no set plans of, oh, I need to be able to get caught up so that I have it done by December 31st. I have no set deadline to finish any of my projects. I don't plan that far ahead. Alrighty. And my last whip to share. Mini Midnight Messenger, artwork by Ann Stokes, charted by Heaven and Earth. This is my focus piece for Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group. They have a challenge of 22,000 stitches in 2022. I don't remember where I am at in that count, but here we are. Another 16 count white Ada, 2 strands full cross. I do not believe I have yet gone into the last, so this is page 3, so page 4. Page 4 is just like 20 stitches wide, if that. I don't believe I've even gotten that far, but man, as that moon looks like it's just glowing. Following the pattern, I'm not using any special like Kreinik or, you know, shiny stuff or anything to, you know, stitch the moon, but just sitting here, it just has an appearance that that moon is glowing. I love it. So I really just working and filling in that background. I think I was probably really working in right over here. It's actually, it would have been closer to my last Flosstube that I was working on this, so I don't really remember where exactly I was working at. It's probably just really working in, filling in, but it's coming along. So the only like real set plans that I can say that I have is not full coverage fanatics, Facebook group Semi-Sane Stitchers has a game based off of the Uno game. So basically you had to provide a list of 4 whips, and then they're gonna spin a wheel each day. If it lands on, like, 1 through 4, then depending on which whip you have numbered for that, you're gonna stitch 100 stitches. There's a wild card if it, pick out whichever whip you want to work on and put in like 200 stitches, all that good stuff. So I'm using Mini Midnight Messenger, Halloween Satsuma Street Halloween Cat. Today I picked it up. It wasn't really enough to show today. I'll show it next time when I've actually worked on it more. But today was the first time that I've worked on that all year. So that'll look for that next time. And then I forgot the other 2 pieces that I used. I was trying to use something that would be an easy, like using Pattern Keeper, that would do the counting for me. So, and then my other plan is that I'm actually going to be able to be a model stitcher for somebody. I'm so excited. I'm not going to say for what or who at this moment. We haven't discussed on as far as whether that's something that I can share on socials yet. So, but I'm excited about that. I'm waiting for the package to come in, hopefully this week, so I can dive into it and get started. I think it was going to be for an expo release, and so I do have a bit of a deadline to get that done. So my first time getting to be a model stitcher. I'm so excited. So that's going to really be a focus piece once I get those materials in. Yeah. I was thinking that there was something that I was going to say in terms of plans, but I don't remember what. I do not remember. Where is... Okay. A couple pieces of haul to share now. You hear me talk all the time about using color and cotton grab bags. I adore these packages, so I ended up getting 2 more of them. So you can choose like Aida, linen, or even weave, but you don't know, and it's always packed like, I think it's 3 pieces of material. You don't know what you're going to get besides the type of material that you ask for. So because I'm an Aida stitcher, so they're 8 by 12 pieces, and I use them for my smalls like all the time. And there's been some small pieces that I've been able to get lots of them on here, like Michelle Bendy Stitches Patreon pieces. I've been able to get multiples on them. So these are great pieces. I don't know what counts they are, but that's something that I can easily figure out by measuring an inch and how many stitches are in those. So this particular one had some really pretty neutrals with a little pink. This one is so soft. Yeah, no clue, like I said, what colors they are. Ring light's kind of throwing off what color they're looking like. But I love the grab bags for that. And then, so they're not always available. I'm sure that they use these when they cut down like fabrics of the month or orders or whatever, setting down to certain measurements. So when they have them available, it's not something that they just easily have listed all the time. But you can sign up for a notify me that when they do have them in stock, you'll get an email, then you can snag them. They tend to go pretty quickly. So somebody had posted in the Color and Cotton Facebook group, something about how excited that they were to be able to snag some. So I immediately went right over and bought a couple. So that one's kind of a, greenish gray. And then a really pale gray, and then another, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the same color or not. Nope, those are 2 different pinks. So those are going into my fabric stash for whatever. Like I said, lots of the smalls. I like working on them for that. And then I actually forgot to share this in my last video, because it was a great quick shipment. Sassy 2 Stitch. So Sassy and then the number 2 Stitch on Etsy. I was in one of Michelle's Twitch streams, and somebody was talking about ordering needles in bulk, and I have come to realize that the brand Bohin, B-O-H-I-N, and then size 26 are like my perfect fit. And so like when I would order from Fire Poppies, can't anymore, I usually, you know, would toss in, what were they sold in, like 4 packs or something like that. I've done it a couple times with like 1, 2, 3 Stitch, that, you know, I've got all these little packs of, you know, singulars that when someone talked about being able to get them in bulk, I'm like, well, that's what I need to do. So I don't know if that's going to focus or not. Sassy to Stitch. So I got a pack of 50. So it doesn't look like a whole lot, but that's what 50 needles looks like. So because I seem to be, you know, starting all the things right now, and I keep a needle and a needle minder on like everything, I figured we'd get some more needles. And then fabric of the month, bestitch me if you did not get your June fabric. I am in a club that like every other month is a bright or a color, and then every other month is neutral. So this one is a bright, and it's bright. I can hear Michelle now saying how it would scare her. She has, so if you're not, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's bold, it's bright. I won't say the name in case you're not wanting to see it and you're in that bright color. I don't know if that's even focusing, but it definitely, the name of it fits. And I can definitely see why Michelle would have that statement for this color, because yes, it is definitely that bright. No clue what I'm gonna put on that. This would be good for like a monochrome piece in like black or dark or something or other. But who knows? No set plans. Okay, that material is down if you were not wanting to see. Spoiler. Hopefully I didn't just watch that. And then the last little bit of haul. If you, ooh, needle minders. Did you hear the magnet? If you were looking for great needle minders and you were looking for a shop and haven't seen this one, so she's got a Etsy shop. Strong needle here. But then she's also got a Facebook group. Gina's Unique Needle Minders. Facebook is same name, so Gina's Unique Minders. On Etsy, Gina's Unique Boutique. So I don't know if that's going to focus or not. I can't tell from here. But she was having a sale a couple weeks ago. All of the minders on there up until a certain date. The sales ended by now, because I think if I remember right, it ended June 15th or something like that. She had a sale and I could not resist. So we have childhood favorite movie, Aladdin. So that's like the original Aladdin. I don't know if that's focusing or not. And then another childhood favorite movie, but a new variation on it. We've got Ariel, but she's got tattoos and artwork and all that. So at the bottom it says Siren, and I don't know if that's focusing very well. Can you tell that I was on a nostalgic childhood favorite movies? Mary Poppins. And then I had to get this one. Nothing childhood related movies, but I don't always stitch. Oh wait, yes I do. You know the Dos Equis guy? I don't always. Yes I do. So we've got little Mary Poppins, and we've got, I don't always cross stitch. Wait, yes I do. And then my favorites, I have a new appreciation for this man. He, of course, he was in the news quite a bit previously, or not too long ago, because of a court case. And so, of course, then I was having to watch all the Caribbean movies. I think I got through, I think I watched the first 3, so I still have a couple yet to watch. Thanks, girl. Love me some Jack Sparrow. Love me some Johnny Depp. Love that man. So, Gina's Unique Needle Minders or Gina's Unique Boutique. So, great shop. Very quick shipping. Wonderful store. She's got lots to choose from. You know, all that good stuff. So, I have definitely rattled on and on today. While I've been having some longer movies, yeah, because I'm a movie star here, longer videos, this one's a little longer than normal. Yeah, so things are going well here. Not a whole lot to report personal wise, I guess. I'm off work on Monday for the holiday weekend, of course. I did take off my birthday, so I don't want to sit here at my computer all day long on my birthday, so I took it off. No set plans on what I'm gonna do. Probably hang out with my sister, mom, whatever. Oh, actually I do have something I can report. I took up a new hobby last night. So my sister Robin has been seeing ads for diamond painting, and so she had decided that she wanted to give it a try for herself. Well, then she decided to take us all down the road with her. So she has treated us to kits. So we got, so it was me and my mom, my sister, and my sister's mother-in-law. We sat down at the kitchen table last night and started a project. I don't have it with me. I kept it there. Probably sit and stitch on it, or work on it again this week. Oh, I do have a picture. I did take a picture of, cause it's a cat. I love it. It was just a basic, or some kit from, I don't know where she got it from, but it's not big. It's 30 by 40 centimeters. So, by no means am I planning on that taking over my life. I 100% keeping on stitching, but it was fun. I definitely enjoyed working on it, and I can't wait to get more of it done. It's really quick going, certainly quicker than stitching. You think of a full coverage piece that, you know, it can take you quite a little while to get into some of that confetti and whatnot, but this was actually moving pretty quickly, so that was fun. Like I said, I have no plans on it taking over my stitching. This is not turning into a diamond painting channel or anything. But it was really cool. I was able to introduce her to our lovely Rachel Ray Crafts, because she's, you know, got all kinds of diamond painting videos and such. So I shared her channel with my sister so that, you know, some tutorials, some how-tos, some tips and tricks, you know, beginner videos and all of that. And so yeah, that was fun. She did get me another kit. She was having fun treating kits. So there is another one that's much bigger. That one has some, like a jack-o'-lantern and some other pumpkins. There's 2 black kitties. There's some sunflowers. That one's a lot bigger. Like the whole thing that I got to thinking about, you know, I've kind of thought about wanting to try diamond painting, but, you know, never really wanted to go down that road, as I see all these big kits. Like, where am I going to put them once they're done? Like, my walls are getting covered in stitching as it is. But I like the idea of doing these smaller kits. I've seen people talk about using like portfolios or something with those, so it's not something that I want to, you know, get all the things for, but definitely something to enjoy. And it was good camaraderie, just kind of sitting and, you know, learning something new. At one point, my nephew, who is early 20s, was there, and he says, "Can I ask, what are you guys doing?" It was the funniest. Like, what is this? He's like, "Is this taking over stitching?" So it was funny. But yeah, so I've just basically been spending a lot of time with family. My sister was out of town, so and her husband was on second shift, so I was going out to take care of my dad in the evenings, all kinds of stuff. So definitely could have had more stitching, but, you know, obviously family is important, so it's been good to be able to, you know, kind of step in and take care of as needed. So then there's been a lot of downtime on weekends where, with my sister coming back into town and such, that I've been spending time with her. And so that's part of why, like, my Flosstube, you know, wanting to do every other weekend or whatever has been thrown off a little bit, just because I've been busy doing things with her. So all good stuff though. Things are really good here. You know, nothing poor to report or anything of that nature. So I'm happy, I'm healthy, things are going good here, which, you know, with the last little bit of a year that I've had, it's always good to be able to report good things. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you have a safe weekend. We're gonna leave it at that for now. But if you have Monday off, I hope it is an enjoyable weekend. Like I said, I hope everyone is having a safe weekend. That's the most important part. You know, we don't need fireworks, accidents, and all that good stuff. So keep stitching, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.